If you're watching this video, you've probably already seen Nerdy Prudes Must Die and are familiar with the character Ruth Fleming and her solo in Act 2 called Just for Once. Just for Once is my absolute favorite song from this musical, and maybe even my favorite song ever, which is why I was surprised to see how many people dislike it. That's why today I want to share with you why this song means so much to me. It's worth noting that this video isn't a completely objective analysis, since I'll talk about how I personally interpret and relate to the song. Let's start with talking about the context. Before the song starts, Ruth, who is operating the lights for the school's production of the barbecue monologues, is asked to refocus the lights center stage as the students who are in the play take a break. She finds herself alone on the stage, finally seeing what it's like to be in the spotlight instead of the booth. She tells herself that she could act if it wasn't for her anxiety, her greasy skin, and her rainforest pits. Then, she begins to act as a character from the play, a 40-year-old woman who was a cancer patient and has a shitty marriage. The song begins with Ruth's character arguing with her husband Maury about his grill brush and the meat. She then reveals that today is her 40th birthday and starts talking about her life. How they installed a new bay window that she didn't want, and how her kids never win their football games. In the chorus, she talks about how she wants to be the center of attention. She wants to remember what a life can be. The character then goes on to explain that at 39 she lost her hair due to chemotherapy, and she relished in the attention that she got from it. She also expresses her resentment towards her husband Maury for cheating on her and says that he prefers the neighbor's kids because they're probably better than their own kids. The character even compares herself and her life to the carpet in the bathroom, which is likely in a very bad state. Once again, she voices her want to feel that spark that's missing from her life. She wonders if she should double-check the burgers to see if they're well done on the outside but not within, which is possibly a metaphor for how she feels like on the outside she's warm and happy, but on the inside she's sad and cold. She wonders if she should just let the years destroy her in front of her husband. At the end of the song, the character gives her tap shoes to what I assume are her neighbor's daughter. She says it was no bother since she never uses them, but she used to dance. She then finds Maury's grill brush, the thing he was looking for, which was right there all along, just like her. Okay, but how does Ruth relate to this? After all, what does an 18-year-old girl with anxiety has to do with that character? Well, for starters, both Ruth and the character have unfulfilling lives. Ruth wants to be in a spotlight, and just like the character, she wants to be seen and appreciated. A line that I wanted to highlight was,
"And life goes on as I shop for shutters to obstruct the view."
I think this is meant to show how both the character and Ruth feels as if they're only watching other people's lives go by while they're stuck inside, sitting in one place and being forced to cover the window so they can stop envying others. Ruth feels this way because her anxiety stops her from doing the things she wants to do, like acting. She's forced to watch from the booth while others perform. When the character asks herself if she should let the coals burn out and let the years destroy her, I see this as Ruth wondering if she should let her anxiety consume her and destroy her dreams of performing. Some lyrics also imply that Ruth was in the spotlight once before, but as her anxiety got worse over the years, she had to stop. That also explains why the "I used to dance" at the end feels so personal.
I used to dance.
In the majority of the song, she sings with her nasal voice that could be considered bad, and she sings well when she lets go, when she forgets about her anxiety and is able to do something she never thought she could. She only goes back to her nasal voice when she feels self-conscious. Something I also noticed is that throughout this number, when Ruth is acting, she doesn't put down the imaginary objects that she's holding. It's like she forgets that they're supposed to be in her hand and they just disappear. This shows that Ruth isn't a good actress, at least in these moments of self-consciousness. Just like her singing, Her acting improves when she lets go and starts relating the character to herself more and more. When she sings beautifully at the end, she smiles as if realizing the talent that she has. But her smile fades when she realizes that even though she has all of this potential in her, she'll never be able to share it with others. The only reason she could do it in the first place is because in this moment, no one's watching her. She knows that she'll never get to show how good she truly is. So why do I like this song so much? Well, I think this song is a tragically beautiful representation of how Ruth feels about her life. Much like the character, she finds it lonely and unfulfilling. She feels like she can only watch as life goes by, like her life is already over and she's past her prime despite being only a teenager. Ruth feels like this 40-year-old woman and she's only 18. This song is so well written, and dare I say the best Star Kid song. It was so hard to write a script for this because this song is so amazing that I can't even put it into words, as you can probably tell. I also see this song as Ruth mourning the things she'll never get to experience, all the opportunities that her anxiety took away from her. She's stuck in this life. Even if she knows that she has what it takes, she'll never be able to act on it. As a theater kid with anxiety, I relate to this song way too much. The feeling that everyone is moving on while you're still stuck in place and there's nothing you can do is really familiar to me. I can't help but love everything about this number, from the music to the acting and most importantly, the lyrics. Anyway, I hope I was able to make my thoughts make sense and help you understand the song a little more, at least from my perspective. Feel free to share your own interpretation in the comments. This was actually my first time actually putting my thoughts into words for a video, so I hope it's not too confusing. I also don't know how to end this, so bye!